Hey everyone, I am Mike, and today we are joined by
Wade, not Mike.
not Mike.
Not Mike.
We'll
There
call
you
you what was it? Swade Wade?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Whatever.
And today we are going to be talking about horror movies. Correct? Yeah.
I'm supposed to say that, I think.
You're supposed to say that?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a new setup for me, so I don't know the whole thing. We're just gonna keep going.
Well, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've already ruined it. Keep going. Anyways, we're talking about horror movies today.
Yes.
Right? It's the spooky season.
Leaves everywhere.
Everything's changing. The one thing that doesn't change is, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers.
Okay, no. Jason Voorhees definitely changes.
He does change. He does change. But what I'm saying is, we still have our horror icons. I like that.
Yeah.
The fact that, we grew up with them. Fucking, who was your guy?
Who was my guy growing
your
up?
guy?
Oh, boy. I'm always a Freddy Krueger
Freddy
kind
guy?
of person, yeah.
I was the Jason guy.
I always think the Freddy Krueger, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies are a little more, consistent.
Right.
Not all of them are perfect, but they're more consistent than Halloween and Friday the 13th.
I know that I never saw the Robert Englund's original one.
The Haley, I almost said Haley Joel Osment. No,
Haley Joel Osment.
What is his name?
Haley Joel
Rorschach, whatever his name is.
Could you imagine Haley Joel Osment with this little baby face pretending to be
Are we talking about young Haley Joel Osment, or are we talking about bloated, older?
With still a baby face?
Yes,
Yeah.
he does have a little baby face.
He does have a baby face. He's also the voice of Sora.
He is.
Yeah,
yes.
he is. Yeah.
He'll be doing that till
But
he's
could you
60.
imagine him being Freddy?
It'd be bad.
It would be Sora's voice being like, "Hey, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you guys."
Yeah. Either way, I forget his name. Haley Earl, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He sucked.
Yeah, it was not good. Robert Englund, I met him a couple times. I used to go to Horror Find up in Towson. Have you ever gone?
I have not. I've only been Monster Mania or
MonsterCon,
something
yeah.
like that,
Well, MonsterCon's way better than Horror Find.
Yeah.
Horror Find was it's like the tiny little hole in the wall, 50 people.
Yeah, I
cons.
never met Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Because he's always at these conventions, so there's not a urgent need that I got to see Robert Englund. Same with Kane Hodder. He is always there.
Yeah, I met Kane Hodder as well.
And he always wants to strangle people in the picture.
That is the photo I have with him. He is literally pretending to strangle me.
Yeah, he's still intimidating. All the other Jasons are not, they're dead.
Well, Kane Hodder had that walk. You knew it was him being Jason because the way he carried himself.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's things like that about I feel like we who both love horror movies, you who love them way more than I do because you actually make horror movies.
Yes.
One of the things that I like about just being into horror movies in general is that there's that the things that if you don't like horror movies you don't recognize, and it sucks because eventually you it takes a certain movies to actually spook you these days. I was watching Crucifixion last night with my mom. Because she wants to watch horror movies, and of course she picked two of the worst horror movies.
Was this on Tubi? What was this?
It was on Shudder.
Oh, Shudder!
Yeah.
I love Shudder, but they sometimes put some real poop out there.
They put the sci-fi horrors out there, sci-fi original horror.
Yeah,
it's not that good.
But Tubi has a lot of terrible movies. I love them.
Really?
I love them. There's one movie I saw called Odd Noggins.
Odd Noggins.
Oh, there's a sequel and it's terrible. The first one's terrible, so I definitely pre-ordered the second one.
Oh, jeez.
Because it's so bad.
I know the one I haven't seen yet is Terrifier. I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
It's very. I don't like mean-spirited kind of slashers. I hear it's very mean-spirited.
Okay.
I mean, I like some real dour stuff,
there's an actual there's in his mind a justification for his murder.
Yeah.
I see it yeah.
We have that. It's called Hannibal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
or Dexter.
I love Dexter.
or Saw.
The speaking of Dexter though, I just gotta point this out real quickly because we're talking about murders and stuff like that. I saw a meme the other day where it was like, Dexter. So when they try to have like a teenage, like the teenage
they put the mop head.
Yeah, they put the mop wig on him.
I was just talking about this because in Saw 7 or 3D or Final Chapter, whatever you want to call
Whatever
it.
the fuck it's called.
They make Tobin Bell young by like putting a backwards black cap on. It's so hilarious. It's like, who needs to invest in de-aging? Just put a backwards
Just put a
cap
backwards
on.
hat
Like you're
on, like,
Fred Durst. Just do that.
With Steve Buscemi, what's up?
What's up, fellow kids?
What's up, fellow kids?
Yeah. But yeah, that's I love that little mop thing because he's just young now.
It's just young. He's just young because now he has a full head of hair. He's young now.
Yeah.
Dude, it is ridiculous.
But you were talking about like scary movies that are like recent scary movies.
Yeah.
I saw one called Talk to Me.
I heard that was fantastic.
The trailer, I saw the trailer and I thought, oh, this is gonna be bad.
Right.
But it is. If you like, what is the name? And just totally, of course, I'm on camera. I'm blanking on the name.
Yeah,
It's
right. As soon as you're on camera.
Oh, it's the one where the kid has the peanut allergy and gets her head decapitated. Oh, what is it called? Studio audience.
He's leaning out the car window.
It's Ari Aster. What is it? Oh my gosh.
What is that movie?
It's not Hereditary.
Hereditary. It's Hereditary.
I literally. It was
Why did I blank on that?
I would like you to know I searched peanut allergy decapitation. So.
I love, and also like I'm looking at the screen as they have a scene from the new Suspiria, which we can talk about Suspiria too. But like Hereditary was like very like dour, sad,
right
ending, and Talk to Me is like that too.
Really?
It's really really good.
I need to there was a director that came out and was talking about how good Talk to Me was. It was like one of those like directors that like Hollywood like reveres. I think it could have been like Steven Spielberg or something like that.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, right. Somebody came out and was like
Scorsese.
Yeah, like that's one of the movies I want to see. I sadly do want to see the Five Nights at Freddy movie. Just because I want to know if it's good or bad. I mean,
if you want to see a real scary movie, see the Wonka movie.
The Wonka movie?
Oh, the trailer is terrible.
Oh, geez. Is it like an...
I saw it while in the theater for Talk to Me, and I thought it was very strange.
You know what I want to see? I want to see the Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Oh, Blood and Honey?
Yeah, like it looks so bad.
I have not seen it. It's probably on Tubi.
It probably is on Tubi.
There's a sequel coming out. Apparently Piglet and Rabbit are in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, that's going to be awesome. I kind of want to... I really do want to see it now. But yeah, dude, like... I do want to go into, before we move past that subject, Evil Dead, man.
Oh.
I still see Evil Dead 1 as like a true horror movie.
Oh, it's frightening.
It actually is. Like, it actually has moments in it. Like, it's... You know, when I showed it to Amanda for the first time, it's not spooky because like the graphics do not age well, but it still has that horror element to it where you're just kind of like, what the fuck's going to happen?
But it's also very innovative.
Really,
the camera movements and just like, I mean, Bruce Campbell is an iconic actor. Is he the greatest actor of all time? No. But it's that chin, man. That chin works,
right? And like, put it into perspective. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of the Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse movie, but
very Sam Raimi,
right?
Very.
Like those spooky moments where like the camera's like zooming in on the water crashing on the like the picture and everything like that.
Slight spoilers. The dead Stephen Strange,
right?
Definitely a deadite.
Yeah, straight up a deadite. Yeah. There's that moment, the moment where the Scarlet Witch of the universe with the two children, she's like freaking out and having that moment where like, you know, like because the evil Scarlet Witch of our universe is trying to go into her universe.
Yeah.
And she's like syncing with her, right? And so she's like walking around the kitchen and she's like all woozy. That whole moment of all the things like in the room just doing little things, 100%. That is that moment in Evil Dead 2 where he's like just walking around the room and everything's like starting to animate and move around. Like Sam Raimi.
One of my favorite scenes in the Evil Dead 2.
Fantastic.
It's just that deer, and then he laughs with it. It's so good. But what I like about the Evil Dead, and this includes like the remakes, is like it's for everyone. Like one movie is at least for everyone.
What? Yeah.
Like Christy, my fiance, loves Army of Darkness so
Yeah, I
much. It
think
was
that
the
was
skeletons that did it.
Yeah.
But it's weird. I'm torn between Evil Dead 1 and 2.
I'm the same way.
I think Evil Dead 2 is a skosh better, not because of the humor, but because of the filmmaking and also the terrible CGI dead headless ballerina.
Oh, dude, I love that moment, dude. That is like one of my favorite moments in the movies when like she's like, and her head's like rolling down like one arm to the next, and she's like twirling all around. And then she busts out the door with the chainsaw.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. But like even the remakes are pretty good.
Oh yeah,
they're very dark and dour. They still have to have the tree
gotta have that
assaults. You have to have that.
Gotta have that tree scene.
Have to. But we're talking about good effects.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the hat of the movie that has the best special effects.
This thing was renowned as probably like I think The Thing, if we're going off of that, and Aliens would probably have to be the two movies that really set the bar for horror movie just special effects.
Rob Boutini's effects on The Thing are so good.
Cold.
And it's not just that if you watch a lot of the document, The Thing is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Oh, really?
John Carpenter's The Thing, not the remake.
No, yeah. The original John Carpenter.
Or the original The Thing from Outer Space, I think it was called. But it's not just the effects, it's also the lighting. It's just such a brilliant little thing. There's one moment where he's testing the blood vials.
Right.
McCready, the great Kurt Russell. He's testing the blood vials, and if you notice, the person that's The Thing doesn't have the light glaring in his eye. You'll see a little light in the eyeball. That's everyone that's not The Thing, but the person that is The Thing doesn't have that light reflection in his eye. It's very
it's a very that's the one thing
it's very genius. And then the remake or the prequel remake ruined it.
Oh yeah, because
The Thing just we're just gonna not be hiding.
Yeah,
we're just gonna reveal who we are. What?
I think I watched half of it, and I just was so tuned out that it didn't.
It's the CGI. Too.
Yeah, it's bad.
Your producer did show a little thing called Thanksgiving. Have you seen Thanksgiving? I know we're right now in October Halloween season, but Thanksgiving.
Oh yes, I have seen this.
And
one.
of course the sequel, Thanksgiving 3, because there's no 2.
Wait, that's legitimate that they should make it 2?
Oh no, yeah, Thanksgiving 3 is the sequel.
Yeah.
And it's I forget what the plot is, but they're trying to find the copy of Thanksgiving 2.
Yeah.
And also, everyone is puppets. It's all puppets, except for one guy that dresses like a pilgrim.
It's so bad.
It's not great, but it's entertaining.
There are so many horror movies that we could rattle off that are just bad, just.
Oh,
bad.
I could just go trauma movies.
Yeah, just trauma. Yeah. But you got what Rubber.
I love Rubber.
Roid, or was it Roid or Roid Rage?
I don't know what that is.
It's the one about the hemorrhoid that eats people.
Oh, there's one that's oh god, what is it? It's Sofa or something. It's a killer sofa.
Yeah.
It really gets really bad near the end. We're just we get what is it? Oh, it's the one with the jeans, the killer jeans.
Oh, fuck!
Killer denim or whatever it was called.
I think it was called
Slacks. It was called Slacks.
It was called Slacks. Yeah, SLAXX. Yeah.
Now if they add an extra X to that, dude.
One movie I want to talk about though, Idle Hands. I think that was one of my first horror movies I ever saw.
I love that movie.
Okay, so I met Devon Sawa, and
really?
We have a signed picture from Idle Hands. She had a huge crush on my fiance. Had a huge crush on Devon Sawa. I had a huge crush on is it Jessica Alba?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba.
Yep. You know who else was in that movie?
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Yeah.
And The Offspring.
The Offspring.
The Offspring was in that movie.
You love The Offspring.
It's my favorite band, man.
Anybody watch Daredevil? Foggy. See the guy?
Yes.
Next
He
to
plays
Seth Green?
the one with
that is Foggy.
He's the one that gets his head decapitated.
Yeah.
His cap got decayed.
He's the one with the.
No, it's Seth Green.
Seth Green
has the bottle on his head.
Yeah.
The kid from the Foggy, but also from Mighty Ducks.
Yep. There we go.
One of the
There's
Bash Brothers. He gets that bandsaw.
And it goes cart.
He gets that bandsaw right through his head neck.
I'm going to tell you something about that movie that has stuck with me because I saw that movie when I was a kid. I was like, "God, when did that movie come out?
99?
Yeah,
99. So I would have been 11.
I would have been 9.
I was 11 years old when that movie came out. And
It was on a Sci-Fi channel. That's how I watched it.
when my dad rented
R.I.P..
it, like I used to be a bitch when it came to horror movies. I was terrified relentlessly of horror movies when I was a kid. And then like sometime somewhere in my life, like a light bulb just went off and I was like, I am now like a horror connoisseur. Like I need to watch everything from good to shitty horror movies.
I think I've always been kind of into horror. Like when I was a kid, like 4 years old, my parents bought me RoboCop. It's not a horror movie, but definitely not a kids movie.
That is not.
They thought it was a
movie.
cartoon. Wrong. Anyway, but that got me like kind of like desensitized to like gore.
Right.
So I've watched like the Tales from the Crypts on HBO. But also, by the way, I have a podcast, Tales from Podcrypt. I also like Goosebumps. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Also, when I was a kid, I went to my grandparents' house during the summer because both my parents worked, and I was really into Dark Shadows, the soap opera. I had no clue what it's about, but I remember Dark Shadows. I did not see the movie, but I just have a fond memory of that fogginess. It's on Tubi.
Weird.
I just go sleep with it.
My fear of horror movies as a kid was like there was no like justification or rhyme or reason for what scared me. I was terrified of Chucky. Like
he's scary.
Yeah,
well, because I had a Furby and I was scared of that thing.
Yeah.
And it just the toys come into life. It's not Toy Story.
But it's funny.
Scary
Because I was terrified of Chucky, right? I hated watching any Chucky movie, but Demon Toys or Puppet Master, no problem. I loved those movies.
So
as
like
kids.
Puppet Master, like the leech puppet that drops the leeches on there. Like,
the
that's
drill
fine.
hand one. Like none of that bothered me, but Chucky terrified me. Michael Myers didn't scare me at all, but Jason terrified me. It was like weird. It was like whatever, like just there was no rhyme or reason.
I think the problem is because Michael Myers, like throughout the movies, has the worst mask.
Yeah.
Over time, the worst. Not because
William Shatner.
Because Jason, his mask gets destroyed. No, this one, it's just really bad quality. The hair is like frizzy, like it's weird.
So I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with a question, right? Test your horror knowledge, right? In which movie does Jason get the iconic hockey mask?
That's 3D.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because the first one, spoiler, is Mrs. Voorhees.
If you don't know that the first movie is Jason's mom,
Part 2,
get over here.
Part 2 is the sack head,
yep. and then
3D, which is not a good movie because.
No. But halfway through 3D is when he gets the iconic, and it's weird because it's not the first two movies. You would think like. Well, if you go back knowing what you know about Jason now and you go back and you watch the first one, you like, now the shock would be, it's his mom, right?
Well, Jason Voorhees is in 1.
He is in 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't forget about the ending. But I think the best, if we're talking about Friday the 13th, the best one is part 4.
I love part 4.
Corey Feldman.
Yep.
So good. It's also everything you want in a Jason movie.
I also am a huge fan of Jason Goes to Manhattan. It's a dumb movie. It's again
the boxer that gets his head knocked off. I have to knock my head off.
Man.
Screw it, no hat.
That's what I'm saying. Like you either like if you like horror movies, like you can't just like the good ones. You have to go in on the bad ones as well. One of my favorite horror movies of all time, and I watch it every October without fail, is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, that's a classic.
It's such a great fucking movie. And like I've tried multiple times to get my fiance to watch it with me, but she's like, it looks so stupid. I couldn't. I was like, I understand it looks dumb, but that's the enjoyment of these movies. You just have to go in. Like, there's the scene where the Alfred Hitchcock scene with the popcorn monster. There's the popcorn monster. She's like showering, and the popcorn falls off her, and it turns into the monster in the hamper.
I'm trying to think of like go-to Halloween movies. I just think like Creepshow is so good.
Creepshow's great.
I mean, Universal horror movies are pretty good. I always watch Frankenstein.
I was gonna say.
I always watch Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and Son of Frankenstein because they're all so good together. The rest are not so much. But
you're an actual fan of the OGs, like the Wolfman.
I mean, I have a punk rock creature right here. Yeah. I have Frankenstein here.
Yeah. You're the punk rock horror, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Punk horror, whatever it's called.
So I love
horror punk.
It's just because horror punk.
Yeah.
Meteor King. I'm in horror punk.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're in a horror punk band.
I'm just gonna do cheap plugs every time.
Go right ahead, man. I mean,
but yeah, I love the Universal horror movies are so good. I think they're good for like anyone that's not really a big fan of horror movies.
Right.
They're just classic. Another great movie. If we keep talking about horror movies, man.
Right.
We talk about Freddy Krueger. Like we gotta talk about Wes Craven, who
Wes
did
Craven.
Scream, which is so good too.
Yes.
Like he also did a movie called Serpent in the Rainbow, which is it's like voodoo zombie kind of
Yes.
thing.
Oh man, that is
Real rough, like in your brain.
And
It's
I
got
can't-
what's his face, Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. Oh yeah.
The greatest president in cinematic history.
You know what is like technically considered a horror, but I still have yet to watch it, and I need to watch it eventually. Is Little Pet Shop of Horrors.
You never seen Little Shop of Horrors?
Little Shop of Horrors. That's it. I've never seen it.
You,
I know it's got our boy
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
It's got Steve Martin.
Yeah.
John Candy has a cameo.
Steve Martin's in that.
Yeah, he plays the dentist.
Oh man.
Oh, he is so good. Like one scene, he just flies in his motorcycle
Right.
from the air and lands into an alley. I don't know how. It's just so stupid.
Dude, I need to sit down and actually watch that movie.
It's not super scary. I mean, there's the ending is pretty. The original planned ending, which I think they have it on the Blu-ray, is like insanity.
Right.
But like the original ending, the theatrical ending is like,
Gotcha. Like I always like it's supposed to be like it's like the fake horror, you know, the like I'm not actually scary, but I'm supposed to allude to the idea that we're going to be scary kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Right. You're led to believe that it's going to be like it's supposed to be a horror movie, but it's not. It's a comedy, like
Yeah.
like from beginning to end.
yeah, it's all like
It's
good
like,
old horror comedy.
We're killer clowns from outer space. We kill people, and that's supposed to be the horror.
And there's like
idea.
cotton candy involved. I haven't seen that
Yes,
movie in years.
The cotton candy's the cocoon.
Yeah.
They wrap them up in the cotton candy, and then they put the ridiculously. I want that silly straw.
Yeah.
One thing that kills me is that every year the original people who made Killer Clowns from Outer Space, they always wanted to do more with it. There was plans for a TV show. There was plans for another movie, and every time like the traction gets built up for it, it gets killed. And I'm just like,
They can make 4 Critters movies, but they can't do a sequel to Killer Clowns.
Hold up now, because Critters gave us Leonardo DiCaprio.
In the third one, yes.
Yeah, I love that when they re-released Critters 3 on DVD, or was it Blu-ray?
It's Blu-ray. They had all 4 of them. I bought it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want
And
this.
they
I
had
sold
that
it.
giant sticker on the very front of the remember it said like starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
For Critters, you don't have to see Critters 3.
No.
You can see Critters 1 and 2 and just stop.
Man,
stop
like,
there.
Dude, we could keep going with
Like Phantasm, you can stop at 2 and never
yeah,
talk
the
about
tall
it
man.
again because they
Yeah.
get worse.
You got Chud, you know, like I
Oh, yeah,
love
Chud.
Chud. I
Oh, yeah,
love
Chud's great.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers, baby.
Oh yeah. If we're talking about cannibals, like Italian horror. If to those who don't know about Italian horror, really
man.
good. I do not like the cannibal movies, like Cannibal Holocaust. Hate it, despise it.
there
But
is
like
a-
Suspiria, Tenebrae.
What's his name? There's an Italian horror director. He did Zombie.
Oh, it's Lucio Fulci.
Lucio Fulci. Thank you.
Oh yes,
Yes.
yes.
Speaking of which, I got to get into it because we're almost running out of time here. Because there's no way we cannot do a horror movie night without me going into my love for zombie movies.
Oh, you're talking about the trilogy, the big 3.
Oh, the big 3, baby.
Okay, let me ask you.
Right.
Which is the better one? Which is the best one?
Night of the Dead.
I'm Day of the Dead.
You're
here.
Day of the
I'm
Dead?
Day of the Dead.
Like, don't get me wrong. I do like
Tom
Bubba.
Savini is so good in the effects and like
You
roads.
get that. You get that. Yeah, thank you. All right. Like, I see you pulling up the thing for like the.
It's Night of the Living Dead, not Night
yeah,
of the
yeah,
Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. I'm sorry. Yeah, technically
Jeez.
speaking, it's Night
Trust
of the
me,
Living Dead.
There is a difference.
There's a big difference.
The original.
Yeah, well, because like eventually
remakes are
there's
shot for shot
there is the
remake.
Living Dead franchise.
Yes.
which are fantastic.
Yeah.
I love. Is it Return of the Living Dead?
Return of the Living Dead is the
Send more ambulances.
send more paramedics.
Paramedics,
Yeah, that is that's a horror comedy right there. That's great.
I love that movie. Night of the Living Dead, both the black and white and the colored version of that movie still actually terrifies me to this day. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I was actually someone tried to do like a remake of it, and I played Johnny, and I had to say
really?
those lines. I'm not going
could
to
see
give
you.
them press because I don't think it was like 12 years ago. Still in production.
I could see you being Johnny.
Oh, I dropped out of it. They recast
you
someone
could
else.
be him.
I could.
I like now that
They're
I see
coming to get you, Michael.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, George A. Romero was he was a god to me as a guy.
Yeah.
You know, you got Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
There's a new one coming out.
There is a new one coming
He has
out.
a script. It's his script. Someone else's. I forget who it is. It's
Yeah,
Twilight
well,
of the Dead.
Yeah,
Twilight.
well, he's since passed.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he dead.
He also has really big, thick glasses.
I wonder if they'll
Thicker than ours.
like bring his corpse out and like have him shamble around the screen, do it upright, man.
I mean, they could probably get someone just like dressed as George Romero.
That's true.
I mean, he's a scary looking dude.
But anyways, like, because we could just, I mean, the amount of horror movies that me and you watch, we could just go on forever.
I haven't gone.
Yeah,
Scratch the surface.
another scratch the surface situation. We have to like sit down and like talk about more horror movies sometime,
Yes.
and maybe like actually have like a list of like ones we'll talk about. But we're gonna end it here, like just end it here. But before we go, though, I do want to let you go ahead and plug your podcasts and your music as well.
Yeah, Tales from the Podcrypt. It's on like all the stuff, all the podcast platforms. We talk about episodes of Tales from the Crypt. We also have Mint Condition Productions, youtube.com/Mint Condition Productions. You actually are on some episodes?
I am in some episodes, yes.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the olden days.
There's an episode of me complaining about how I hate Attack on Titan, and now I adore the fuck out of that series.
I may have deleted that.
I hope you did.
But yeah, like, there's that. If you want to see any horror movies or whatever, I'm watching like Letterboxd. If you have a Letterboxd, Suede MCP, that's you can find me on that. If you want some recommendations on horror movies or whatever, just go through what I've watched.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then also don't forget to check out your band.
Meteor King.
Yeah,
We're
it's
back.
a horror punk band. They do perform here in the like, are we announcing what state we live in? Yeah. Okay, he performs here in the Maryland area.
If you can't tell that I have a kind of a Baltimore accent, I mean,
we all do.
yeah.
The fact that you said Baltimore with a D and I did too, like, just gives
sorry,
it away.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore or Baltimore.
But I don't say hun.
No, we don't say hun.
Yeah, Meteor King. We're also not the super serious. We're a fun band.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hard punk bands that are like, we're serious.
We're super
Look
serious.
how spooky we are. We're not that.
No.
We have a song called Killer Vegans from Outer Space.
Hell yeah.
So
I gotta
we're
check that
silly.
out. But anyways, that'll be everything for us over here. And don't forget to come on, join us for everything, and maybe get comfy with us. See ya.
Get creepy. Get creepy.